So, okay. Esburb is this game that a lot of cats seem hella pumped of, and this beta is sitting on my desk for review, so I'm like, yeah, man, I'll write something. But I don't know. I'm like, so this is about houses or some noise? That's fine. I'm sure that's like fucking dynamite in a handbag for some brosips. But all I'm saying is, when do you get to thrash anything? While you're playing house or some shit, are you ever in jeopardy of getting mud on your doll's dress or whatever from busting out, and I quote, the mad stunts all wicked up ins? Know what I'm saying, bro, Yama? I didn't actually play this game, but I gave it 1.5 hats out of 5 hats to keep it real. At this point, I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Dennis, who was over the other day. We were going to chill in front of the Dark Knight, and he was so psyched of it, y'all. We never did watch Dark Knight on account of Ron trucking his balling candy ass Garth to the hospital. But it's cool. I still got another watch in me, Brotel Rwanda. Dennis was so wasted. I mean, damn.
It might come in handy if you ever need something that burns easily. You expend your final card on the Magician's Hat. You don't have a free card in your Philodex. However, you are able to merge the Beagle Puss with the Magician's Hat to create a clever disguise. John, who is this John you speak of? You are quite certain there has never been, nor ever will be. Yeah, this is a really shitty disguise. While you are wearing the items, they remain on the card, but it is temporarily removed from the deck, thus freeing up the cards beneath it. You exit into the hallway. On one wall hangs a picture of a fella who sure knows how to have a laugh. A man after your own heart. You always thought he looked like Michael Cera, but your dad swears on the many hollowed tombs of Egypt that it is not. You're not sure about that, though. On the other wall is one of your dad's stupid clowns, or harlequins, as he is quick to correct anyone who would venture such a brazen assumption. The accursed odor of fresh baking wafts into your newfound nostrils. Something is brewing in the kitchen. It must be the connivings of your arch-nemesis, Betty Crocker, and the rich, buttery aroma of her plot stinks to high heaven. This mission is going to be more difficult than you imagined. A bright orange flame flickers in the fireplace. It doesn't matter that it's April and not terribly chilly outside. In a home, a fireplace needs a fire, because that's what a fireplace is for. A fire belongs in a fireplace, damn it, categorically, at all times, without exception. As domestic mirth of unaccountable origin holds, a home borrows the spirit of the flame for as long as it makes a guest of it, as much as the moon takes liberty with the sun's rays. The moon is an errant thief, and her pale fire snatches from the sun. Mark Twain. You are almost certain Mark Twain said that? You examine the sacred urn containing your departed Nana's ashes. When your father gives her portrait a wistful glance now and then, you can tell it brings back painful memories. A tall bookshelf, a ladder, an unabridged Colonel Sassacres. He never wants to talk about it. You clumsily mishandle the sacred urn. Ash is everywhere. In retrospect, upon mulling cinematic tropes regarding ash-filled urns, this outcome was a virtual certainty. You'd probably better clean it up before Dad finds it. You think now would be a good time to beef up your clever disguise. Contemplating what could be inside of this package is sort of exciting, but it makes you a little nervous at the same time. Oh, hell no! First, you prop the Harlequin doll up on the couch. Having it in the middle of the floor sprawled out all akimbo-like, that struck you as unseemly. You captchalogue the ashes to your available card. You merge the sacred urn with the ashes. Most of the ash is back in the urn, but it's a total mess. Really, it probably would have been tidier if you had just used a broom and dustpan. No one will be the wiser, except for maybe people with eyes. Just got another brilliant idea for something to do with those pointless arms. You pry them out of the cake and capture-log them. It looks like Pesterchum is acting up again. Another one of your chums is messaging you.
I understand. You have recently come into possession of the beta release of the Game of the Year, as featured in respectable periodicals such as Gamebro magazine.
That's an ugly rumor. Whoever told you that must be a filthy liar. And you should probably stop hitting on him all the time, or whatever.
I can't control myself. I must have a weakness for insufferable pricks.
Anyway, I still haven't checked the mail. My dad has it. I'm trying to get it from him, so BRB.
John,
What?
you're wearing one of your disguises now, aren't you? You are typing to me right now while wearing something ridiculous.
No, why would you even think that? That's so stupid.
Okay, why don't you go get the game from your father?
Alright, wish me good luck. Oh, by the way, JK, I was wearing a funny disguise this whole time. Gotcha!
I know, John.
You can now execute the brilliant idea you had. There should be just enough frosting on the fake arms to serve as an adequate adhesive. You don't care what Colonel Sassacre says. That makes it at least 1,000,000% funnier. You put this back in the fire where it belongs. As long as we're cleaning up, you can carry hefty items, but that thing is just way too big. Get real. Besides, you don't even want it. You thought about consulting the text to determine exactly how hilarious the doll is now, but this text is way too big to navigate in a timely fashion. You decide to forget it. The door to the left leads to the kitchen, from which the smell of baking wafts, a powerful aroma which could lift an especially portly hobo off his feet. The door to the right leads to the study, where your dad spends a lot of time. He could be in either room. Where will you go? It doesn't look like he's in here right now. On the desk is a deck of playing cards, one of your dad's pipes, the April issue of the Serious Jester magazine, and a stray capture log card. There is also a can of peanuts on the desk. Oh, Dad, you won't be falling for that one again anytime soon. A severe peanut allergy is a terrible affliction to cope with. You swap the magician's hat with the bowler hat. This disguise is somewhat less funny, but a lot more distinguished looking. Your dad maintains numerous pipes around the household. A father without a pipe is like a strapping roughneck without a toothpick. That is to say, he is a rather piss-poor excuse for a roughneck, if you ask me. You'd rather not take the pipe, though. The first one tastes bad enough as it is. How you suffer for your comedy. Yes! This will be perfect for expanding the space in your cellar. Ugh! You play the prankster's favorite card game, even though you are alone in the room, thus rendering it an especially foolish version of solitaire. So stupid! Look at this mess. The peanut gallery over there sure is getting a kick out of it. You are allergic to their scorn. You go back out into the living room and contemplate checking the mailbox outside. You think perhaps you should exhaust all possibilities before plunging headlong into a dad encounter. Your television is currently airing a commercial. You exit the house. Predictably, the mailbox is empty. You have already been scooped by your father. Streets are empty. Wind skims the void, keeping neighbors apart, as if grazing the hollow of a cut reed, or say, a plundered mailbox. A familiar note is produced. It's the one Desolation plays to keep its instrument in tune. It is your 13th birthday, and as with all 12 preceding it, something feels missing from your life. The game presently eluding you is only the latest sleight of hand in the repertoire of an unseen riddler, one to engender a sense not of mirth, but of lack. His coarse schemes are those less of a prankster than a common pickpocket. His riddle is absence itself. It is a mystery dispersing altogether, like the moon's faint reflection, with even one pebble of inquiry dropped in its black well. It is the most diabolical riddle of all. Absence diminishes little passions and increases with great ones, as wind extinguishes candles and fans of fire. Walt Whitman. Yes, you are certain Walt Whitman said that. 100% positive. You have a feeling it's going to be a long day.
No!
The door is locked, and your dad has the car keys. You peer in through the driver's side window. You don't see any mail, but you do see a green package. There is also something underneath that looks like a slip of paper. Could these items have come in the mail? You don't see anything else that's usually in the mail, like bills and coupons. Maybe your dad forgot to take this stuff inside. You try to get a gander through the kitchen window, but you can't see a whole lot. It seems your dad has been doing so much baking the glass has steamed up. God, he is so weird. But you can see what is on the table just beside the window. It looks like the mail is there. Included among it is a red package, some bills, your dad's PDA, and an envelope that appears to be suspiciously labeled with the Suburb logo. Could it be? Unfortunately, the window is locked. You have no other choice. You are going in. Clever disguise, it's time to work your magic. Your dad has seen right through your costume. You don't know what you were thinking with this foolish ruse. You unequip the clever disguise. Your dad wields a dreaded artifact of confection. He stands between you and the mail. There is only one way to settle this. You cannot abscond. This pesky guardian is blocking your path. You'll need to engineer some sort of distraction. And now he brandishes yet another artifact of confection. The man is ruthless. You better brace for impact in the most comedically striking fashion possible.